is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today is our reaction show, breaking down everything we learned from the Eagles crushing the souls of the Washington Commanders 55-23. Birds head to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. That's unbelievable to say. Joining me, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, man?
How much? I'm feeling fantastic. I was feeling confident heading into this game while many people were scared of Jaden Daniels and rah, 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 rah. And what do we do? What do the kids say? Belt to ass. That's what we did.
What is that? For whatever reason, the last 48 hours, that's all I've been hearing, that belt to ass. It's what
Think
it is.
about it. When I don't know about you, but I used to, back in the day, I was a bad kid. I used to get whoops pretty often, and that belt was straight to ass a lot. So
Right.
called getting an ass whooping.
Also joining us, Billy_Madness on X. What's up, Rob?
Well, this shirt says it all. Their theme this play has been "Let's hunt," and man, did they go out and friggin' hunt yesterday? Punching the ball out on a couple of occasions, just running the ball, throwing the ball, you name it. They did it well yesterday. Near perfection is what they did, and it shows up as the most points ever scored by a team in the NFC Championship game. 55 was not what I was expecting. I think our score predictions were a little off yesterday, but man, was it fun. And, look, it just goes to show you that when this team's clicking on all cylinders, they're going to be very tough for anyone to beat. And that includes the baby of them all, Patty Mahomes, who I now look at as just a baby. Great player, but a baby. And, it's going to be an interesting couple weeks.
Marshawn saying the 30th ranked run defense was going to stop this historic run game. That was the theme all week on these shows. Everyone was praising, giving the flowers and whatever to Jaden Daniels when the storyline should have always been start to finish. How the hell are they going to stop Saquon Barkley? 7 rushing touchdowns. Marshawn says Commanders DC said they're going to hit Hurts as a runner. I think all but 3 yards or something from Saquon were on the outside.
Yeah.
No one touched him. No, he literally he had almost 3 yards before contact yesterday.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And on all week, maybe not this show, but it might have been my other show. That's exactly what I said. Run the ball outside. The Commanders' edge are terrible.
Yeah.
They can't do a goddamn thing about the run. And what happened? 7 rushing touchdowns.
Incredible.
By the way, can I just say, before I get it from the people, yes, these two are my witness. I gave Kenny Gainwell his credit when he recovered that fumble. But
all he does is make plays, Ryan.
Yeah.
all he does is not score touchdowns.
Yeah.
He was the only one who didn't score a rushing touchdown. I think I had one, for crying out loud.
Well, and it's one of those things where I haven't forgotten about Ryan's reaction to Will Shipley being drafted, and Will Shipley shoved it right to that belt to ass that you were talking about. So.
Hey, you got to include this guy over here too. We both weren't happy when Shipley.
But it was your reaction that stood out loud and proud.
It was so funny because it was a Clemson player, but not the Clemson player.
Not the Clemson player I wanted at the time.
I think it was my favorite moment from draft coverage.
I was really hoping for Jalen Wright, who turns out to be really good too. So
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But either way, he did great. I'm proud of Will Shipley. Shipley over Gainwell.
Rob dresses like Dan Quinn. Leave the Commanders alone.
Never.
Never was genius. That was just.
I mean, can I just say how
things I've seen.
How great is it that the Commanders are all I'm hearing today is just the crying.
I just said that. Yeah.
Of the tush push isn't fair. It's illegal. What do you mean you can award points?
Well, look in the rule book because Kyle Brandt quoted the rule this morning, and the only time that it happened was in a college game between Rice and Alabama in, I think, 1950.
Classic rivalry.
Where a guy from Rice was running, nobody was going to touch him. He was on his way to the end zone, and some dude came off the bench and leveled him and hurt him, and the referees awarded him a touchdown for it.
Wow. I mean, like
only time that rule's come into play. Yeah,
I mean, like Mike Tomlin tripping a Ravens kickoff returner.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome. And you saw the Commanders resort to just ridiculousness, like jumping over the line. That was the Commanders' version of saying, waving the white flag. We're cooked. Our ass is cooked.
Yeah.
We give up. Tech, what's going on? Balanced attack equals domination. He got knocked out early. Otherwise, it would have been him.
Yeah, you're most likely right. You're right.
Rob dressed like he's ready for the kegger.
Dude, there literally was a kegger happening at the tailgate. Somebody brought a keg to the tailgate. I was like, wow, that's bold. Bold choice.
All right. Let's get into our top takeaways. All right, a little bit of a different show this week. Usually we do a reaction, then we do a preview. We're going to save the preview for next week. So this is going to be more of an in-depth breakdown of what we learned from yesterday. Krabby saying that's a classic old story from the early days of football with a guy making a tackle from the sidelines. I do. I'm a rock guy. My top takeaways, players like Dotson and Huff could have pouted like Devin White, but they sacrificed.
Hey.
Too soon.
Keep White's name out your mouth, Marshawn.
That is so funny.
Also,
but it's a great point.
All right. Let's get to top takeaways. Leaning off, I got to start off. For me, I thought the top takeaway, and there's a lot of them, but Kellen Moore's offense was absolutely fantastic. We finally saw some of that quick strike offense with Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts. Here's Jalen Hurts using the check down. We saw a couple of those against the Packers, but I want to see more of that. The Washington Commanders came in this week as a blitz-heavy team, especially on passing downs, and I thought the Eagles were prepared. They were in rhythm with the run game. Here's that check down again. But some of the stuff, man, the rollouts with Jalen Hurts, getting the ball out fast, getting it to your guys in space. Dallas Goedert, we're going to talk a lot about him tonight. But, man, Kellen Moore was just in his bag, yo. Like, here's another rollout. Got the ball out fast to A.J. Brown, beats Mikey Sammerstill, gets to out of bounds on the sideline. I don't even know how many times we've seen this all year.
Right.
Loved it.
Awesome. Nice little 6-yard gain there.
Get better than the
Amazing job just putting pressure on the Commanders defense. Tons of motion. This was the best Kellen Moore offense we have seen all year. Here's him getting the ball. This is a mesh concept with, I think that's Devontae. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Devontae.
Yeah.
Love the mesh. Getting the ball out fast again to Dallas Goedert. No, that was the handoff with Dallas Goedert. That was
By the way, the fumble thing. Now I know that play to Devontae is technically a pass where he just kind of lifts it up and Devontae kind of catches it. But again, let's just call that a run. And the fact that Dallas Goedert got 2 rushes, like Kellen Moore honestly must have gotten insanely high the night before and was just like, dude, I'm doing whatever the F I want.
I said the exact same thing as Marshawn. I said he really wants that Saint job. He's like, hey, New Orleans, look what I could do with Taysom Hill. Bam, hand off to Goddard.
It was phenomenal. So my number one takeaway was, without a doubt, Kellen Moore And then my second takeaway. Sorry, I'm stealing kind of everyone.
Jesus.
But I'm serious. Rob, this one's for you, man. This one's for you. My second takeaway had to be Nick Sirianni. It was his moment, and he's earned it. And here's a quick video of Nick Sirianni, man, and all the stuff we saw from yesterday.
How about our quarterback? How about our quarterback? I'm your quarterback. He's a stud.
Smiling some there watching that. Yeah, it's something you get the Gatorade, then you get a cooler to the back of the neck.
Not all teams are able to withstand injury. You guys have showed your depth all year long, whether it's the quarterback room, the secondary, your offensive line. What does it say about this group that is truly, it's not just a phrase, it's a next man up mentality that you guys are still able to play at a high level?
Yeah, I really got to credit Coach Sirianni, the way he leads his team.
I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does is win.
He emphasizes connecting, teammates, growing together. And when you got love for a team, you got love for your brothers, offense, defense, everybody's together. I mean, anything's possible.
I love that.
That's the best.
Who's that? Who's he on the phone with there?
Jacoby.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was Jacoby Dean
Yeah.
on the phone.
We got a tight team here.
Honestly, you can see that through the TV. You, Landon, talking to each other.
All right.
I
That's a little bit about Nick Sirianni, but man, nothing. I mean, he's been nothing short of remarkable since week 5, essentially. What he's done with that 2023 team, it was a broken team. It was in shambles. And you look at the offseason, one of the best in Eagles history, bar none. And his numbers are crazy, man. No coach hired since 2000 has a better record through 68 regular season games, 48-20. He had 10-1 odds of the 6th most odds of being the first one fired in the 2023 season.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't even voted top 10 among best coaches in football this year. So,
yeah,
just major shout out, Rob. I wanted to lead off with that.
Yeah, and the fact that he wasn't up for Coach of the Year when you take into consideration what happened last year and how they come back and do what they've done this year, just shows you how some of these awards are absolute. I'm not saying he should have won it, but to not even be a finalist, I think is ludicrous. But how many players yesterday did you hear that you can't have greatness without the greatness of others? That's a direct Nick Sirianni quote that he has said over and over, that people have ridiculed him when he said things like that. And at least 5 or 6 players in separate interviews said the exact same line. It reminds you of when people ripped him for the roots and the seeds
Flowers,
and all the players kept repeating it. No matter what you think of this guy, whether he's quirky, a nerd, a goofball, whatever, the fact of the matter is his players respect the hell out of him. They love him, and they're going to go to battle for him game in and game out. And it wasn't just lip service on their way out the door when Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey made the comments they made at the end of last year when they retired. They meant that stuff, and these players love this guy. And whether or not him and Jalen may have a weird relationship, but I guarantee you Jalen Hurts respects Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Any response to that, Ryan?
To what Rob said?
Yeah,
dude. I've been on the Nick Sirianni train as well. I never wanted him fired. I thought it was absolutely the most asinine thing I'd ever heard. And obviously it shows. This guy has an ability to connect with his players that is working. And whether or not he comes across as this or that, or as whoever, they want him to be, it doesn't matter. And it's the same thing goes for our quarterback.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. Oh, God, we want to fit Jalen into this little box because that's what quarterbacks need to be. And that's what quarterbacks need to say. And this, that, and the other. You know what? Well, F all that. That's not how this team rolls. And if you don't like it, get the F out of the way. Because I'm sick of it, that everything needs to be a certain way. And it's the NFL. And if you haven't watched the NFL for more than 3 seconds, you understand that the NFL changes. It goes up and it goes down. This is popular, that's popular. Things happen. Well, guess what? Maybe this is the start of the new popular thing.
Yep.
Where you have a coach that actually cares about the players and connects with their players, and a quarterback that all he wants to do is win. He doesn't give a shit if he throws for 100 yards or if he runs for 500. It doesn't matter. He wants to win. That's what matters. And that's why this team is in the damn Super Bowl and are going to wipe the floor with the freaking Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. That's that guy.
In the great words of the great Dom Toretto from Fast and Furious, winning's winning. No matter how it happens. If you win, you win. The Eagles could play like crap in the Super Bowl, but if they win, I don't give a shit.
Right.
A win is a win
right.
at the end of the day.
So
and
many
I think
people love to bash these two.
The fact is, right, and I think we said something like this last week. The fact is, we have witnessed one of the greatest eras of Philadelphia Eagles football history since the year 2000. But 3 Super Bowl appearances in 8 years? This is a franchise that never got there between 1980 and 2005. They didn't get there. We've had 3 in 8 years. They're winning NFC championships, and we're going, yeah. All right, let's go. Who's in the Super Bowl? There's no prolonged celebration. Of course, we're happy. Of course, we're thrilled. But
well, I don't get this one.
But seriously, this has been so much fun. This team is so much fun, and I am ready to celebrate a Super Bowl championship. I really am.
Ryan, what was your top takeaway on offense?
That we just did whatever the hell we wanted. They literally had no clue what the hell was going on. Absolutely no clue. And again, they came in real chesty. Chesty.
I mean, their fans took over the Hard Rock Cafe that
speaking of whatever that dude's name, Tailgate Ted or whatever.
Ted.
Whatever the loser nickname you gave yourself. That guy absolutely left crying. I saw him earlier as we were walking in. And man, he was spouting off. He was yelling and chanting all the way into the stadium. I bet you he was crying, walking his ass out of there.
They took over a bar that I swear to God didn't.
Nobody goes to.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I didn't think
I did not know there was a Hard Rock Cafe in Philadelphia. I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah, no, I knew there was one like 20 years ago when they actually were still open. Who cares?
They were probably so thrilled that anyone wanted to go there. They're like, yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah, they're like, it's a Commander's bar tonight. But seriously, though, it's being in those stands and just honestly, it was left and right. I honestly, and I know I just went on my little tirade, but I really am so proud and so grateful for Jalen Hurts. He literally takes more shit than any other quarterback I have ever seen and consistently gets pushed in the mud, consistently gets disrespected. And, oh, no, we're running the ball too much. Oh, no, I don't think Jalen Hurts can do it. Oh, no. And, yeah, you know what? We did run the ball a little bit, but we also threw the ball a little bit too. It was literally, 1 yard difference between our rushing and our total passing? We also scored 7 rushing touchdowns. Oh, no, that bum knee. I guess Jalen can't be effective. He's a bum. He can't throw. And now he has a bum knee. Now he can't run. Yeah, well, guess what? He did. And he takes everything in stride. He doesn't say shit. He just does his job. And all he wants to do is win. And that is 1,000% the most number one trait that I care about in a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Thanks to Jalen Hurts.
Amen. Marshawn says if the Commanders fans took over Max's cheesesteak, then I would have been impressed. What's up, Antonio? Rob, what was your offensive takeaway?
The Eagles are just an extremely tough football team, and it was so goddamn evident in it was so goddamn evident in the cases of Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens and what they did. And Landon Dickerson putting it out as much as he could. And then Cam Jurgens, whose back is falling off, comes in and says, no, you know what? I got you, Landon. You took a half for me. I'm going to take a half for you. Yeah. And they still rushed the ball like crazy. They only gave up 2 sacks. It was just an all-around tough, hard-nosed, gritty yeah, there you go. Game played by this offense. And not only that, you look at the toughness of an A.J. Brown getting in Marshawn Lattimore's head. You look at Jalen Hurts with the knee doing the tush push, what seemed like 75 times on one series. Yeah. They just did all the little things and won all the battles. And they are just really, really, really a tough team.
They were smart. And that's the thing. They took care of the football, no turnovers, and our defense, all they were doing was just punching the ball out. Yep. I mean, and that Quinyon interception, good Lord.
Where was that?
That was amazing.
That was actually really impressive.
That was so impressive. Honestly,
I didn't know he had it in him, to be honest.
From the angle I couldn't really see. I thought I didn't think anybody got away with the ball after the tip. But the fact that he still concentrated, had McLaurin right there, and was able to take it away.
He played it like a wide receiver.
Yeah.
All season long, his hands were complete garbage. And
he got interviewed yesterday. And after the game, he's like, now I got to give Darius some shit because I ain't got the worst hands on the team no more.
Nice.
Marshawn Lattimore is so overrated. Oh my God, he is so overrated.
All he does is grab people.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
All right, let's get to our offensive player of the game. I'm just going to piggyback off of what Rob said. I'm cheating as I always do. I'm going a mix of Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson for me. Was just ridiculous. That was. I mean, Saquon setting the tone with that first touchdown run was awesome, but man, Landon and Cam were just such gladiators, just symbolic for everything we saw yesterday, winning in the trenches. And you'll look at Landon Dickerson, played 39 snaps, didn't allow a single pressure, left in the second quarter, didn't return the second half. Cam Jurgens comes in, plays 27 snaps, 2 pressures, 0 sacks. I was just blown away by those two, man. Just wild. Just wild. Rob, who's your player of the game? Offensive player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways you can go. I mean, I think obviously Jalen and Saquon are going to be names, and I'll take one of them. I'll take Jalen because not only does he score 3 rushing touchdowns, he throws for 1. He makes the gutsy throw on that 4th and 5 and just places it right in the breadbasket of A.J. Brown. He once again, it looked like he checked to that run on the first play of the game that Saquon takes all the way. I mean, you could go 1,000 different directions. Like I got to tell you, I thought Dallas Goedert was tremendous in this game.
Yeah,
so good, man.
I mean, and that was my X factor going in. But I mean, he made some big catches at big times and showed Zach Ertz what it's like to get a little yak. A little yard after the catch. Not that, by the way, Zach Ertz played a really nice game as well. But
he did. Over 100 yards.
But Jalen trusted himself a little bit more in a couple of those throws. You just saw that one to AJ. You forget that he scored 2 rushing touchdowns. One got called back because of the hold that they didn't even need because he had already got past the guy. Just all in all, just so proud of that guy and so happy for him. As with 30 other guys on this team, he's just another one that you just look at and you're just so happy when he can prove the doubters wrong.
Yeah, Marshawn, Jaden Daniels dancing after touchdown, being down 2 touchdowns. Horrible. That was a horrible look. Offensive pass of the game was passing. Welcome to the jungle. How high was Jurgens to even play? Oh, man. And you saw it during the Nick Sirianni video of him after the game. Just emotional, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion.
A lot of emotion.
With this win. The Nakobe Dean one where Sirianni FaceTimes him and Sirianni's screaming at him, pumping him up. I got a little teary-eyed from that. That was awesome. Kellen Moore is the offensive player of the game. We just went a whole thing on Kellen Moore. Jalen Hurts audibles are underrated. Pre-snap, he is so elite, man. So elite. No one ever says a word.
Yeah, it looked like that first play was as well. So,
Brian, who's your offensive player of the game?
I mean, I guess I'll go with Saquon. I mean, again, I don't want to, somebody already said Kellen Moore, so I won't go that route. You guys went Jalen, who I was clearly going to take. Thanks, Rob.
Yep, that's why I did it.
Yeah, well, I know that's why you did it because I always steal yours, so it makes sense. But yeah, honestly, it was such a offensive team effort that, like, I feel like we're all right. I feel like Steen needs to get some credit here.
Great call.
For stepping in and coming in to play left guard, and I think he had one penalty. That was it. I thought he played absolutely fantastic. Like you said, Dickerson and Jurgens, the combo of them played amazing. I thought Dallas Goedert had a fantastic. I mean, the fact, Will Shipley coming in at the end there, and again, I know it didn't matter, and the game was already done at that point. But man, that was fun. You have no idea how fun that was. Listen, I guess I'll go with Saquon, but man, we're all right.
Marshawn is going after me and you, Ryan, because we picked way more than we.
Yeah, well, guess what? Yeah, listen, that's who the damn player of the game is, Mr. Caps Lock. Okay,
Mr. Caps Lock.
Ryan picked the entire offense.
I actually did.
They're using Saquon as a decoy and a blocker. That block from Saquon that opened up Jalen Hurts for that touchdown run was awesome. Just terrific. But then again, how great was this Eagles O-line that almost, averaged 3 yards a carry before contact? That's just insane. The Shipley's run makes Saquon a system running back. Oh my God. Ty's gonna have to pick Will Shipley thanks to Ryan around. All right. Any other takes? Oh no, our next segment. Who was your unsung hero on offense?
Yeah,
Ryan just named them all.
I just named everybody.
You took him as the player of the game. To me, it was Cam Jurgens for coming in the second half after looking like he wasn't going to be able to play and not missing a friggin' beat with a back injury on a huge man who has to take on blocks like that. That is as much of an unsung hero as I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, for me, it's Dallas Goedert, man. He had 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown against the Packers, 4 for 56 against the Rams. Last night, 7 for 85. And he's just been efficient as hell, man. Major, major shout out to Dallas Goedert. Who's yours, Ryan?
Yes, he does, Tech. He does hate him.
Don't.
Yes, you should have seen him.
Antonio's right. It's absolutely Steen.
You should have seen him when he got picked.
This dude comes in. Shut, Rob. This dude comes in, plays left guard, and just again, he had one holding call, and that was it. And I thought he played fantastic. He had a different center playing, multiple different times. So it's a lot to work with. And coming off, again, it was a game time decision for Jurgens. And I thought he was definitely he held up and was the unsung hero. No, I do not hate Will Shipley. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't a fan of other running backs at the time in the draft, as was Dives. Don't forget about him.
The video evidence clearly shows your reaction. No one else's.
I don't think that video exists. I've never seen it.
Oh, I could definitely pull it up within seconds if I wanted to. Eagles pharmacy team was the unsung hero. He only hates Kenny G. Big Dom wearing a Wendy's headset on the sidelines. That's true. Is it a Wendy's headset? No way.
He's ordering everybody to get Frosties for the win.
Oh man. All right. Let's roll on. Any other comments on the offense before we talk defense?
True.
Dives. No, I didn't hate Shipley.
Hey.
Hate is a no. I didn't
It's a strong
hate
word. I hate Kenny Gainwell.
I didn't hate Will Shipley. My running back big board, he was just way down on
down.
like
right.
when they drafted him. So it was more related to that.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's talk defense, Marshawn. Thank you for taking off the caps lock.
Let's talk top defensive takeaways. Pun intended. I mean, my gosh, the defense literally creating turnovers has to be the storyline for the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 more yesterday. They had 4 against the Packers, 2 against the Rams. They're a plus 10 in takeaways. No turnovers in their last 5 games, if you're including the regular season. 15 takeaways of the last 5 games since the going back to the end of the regular season, man. Just the Zach Bond, the Oren Burks, the Will Shipley forced fumbles, Blankenship and Gainwell and Bond recovered fumbles. Q picked up a pick, and all of those turnovers yesterday led to Eagles points. Mm-hmm. The top defensive takeaway is the takeaway. Go ahead, Rob.
My big takeaway is just how well coached this team is on defense. They are so well coached. There was one video that Dan Orlovsky put out right after the game. Actually, it was kind of funny because his wife is from the area and she's a big Eagles fan, and you could hear people talking in the background. But he puts this video out, and it was on one of the bubble screens, one of the quick screens, where as the ball hits the receiver's hand, he freezes the video, and 4 Philadelphia Eagles have the same exact foot in the ground, ready to explode to the ball in unison. Like it was like poetic. It was unbelievable. And they all rushed to the ball. And instead of it being a 60-yard touchdown, it's a little minuscule 4-yard gain. That play that you just showed, everyone talks about Zach Bond's punch out, which was great. That doesn't happen if Cooper DeJean doesn't show the toughness of getting there and holding that guy up, allowing Bond to get there to knock that football out. They have been group tackling since week 5, and it is so well done and so well coached. Not only is it Vic Fangio, it's these position coaches, it's these guys. I mean, their technique can be flawless at times, and it's really, really an impressive thing to see when you think of where this team was last year when it came to the idea of tackling and running to the ball and causing turnovers. It's just a phenomenal turnaround. And I think, yes, the players have something to do with it, no doubt, but I think the coaching is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's wild, man. That was the biggest storyline, Vic Fangio versus Jaden Daniels. And they held Jaden Daniels to a long of 19 yards on the ground. And overall, I thought Jaden Daniels played okay, played good, but Vic Fangio and the defense was just so much better. And I love how you brought up gang tackling. Like, they were swarming all around the football. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, listen, you guys pretty much said it. This team just plays with such a fire and a desire to be the best that it can. I mean, how many defenses have we been through where, Jesus, like even simple tackling was hard to come by, and this team does everything so nice and fundamentally, and in a unison where this guy knows where he's supposed to be and this guy knows where he's supposed to be. But yeah, it's. I feel like I think I heard a stat that we have 29 total takeaways this year, 9 of which have been so far in the playoffs. In 3 games, 9. That's wild. That's a wild pace. And if we continue and keep that up, I mean, again, when we win the turnover battle, we win games. Plain and simple. Yep. This team takes advantage of it. So this team has a desire to go out and get that football, whether it's punching it out, doing a little peanut punch or whether it's a nice little interception there. This team has just a knack for the football, and I freaking love it.
It's crazy. And you just talk about this pass defense, which was god awful last year. Their defense from the slot was their Achilles heel, and enter Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, 2 rookies that have been playing their ass off.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin lined up against Q on 36 routes, targeted 4 times, had 1 reception for 7 yards. DeJean had 2 pass breakups, 4 tackles, and this duo in 3 playoff games are playing ridiculous. Quinyon Mitchell's passer rating against this postseason is 2.8. Cooper DeJean, 10 receptions allowed on 15 targets, 0 touchdowns. I don't even know what to say anymore. The fact that Howie somehow found a way to get Cooper DeJean in the second round, ridiculous. We all talked a lot about the comparison of Lito and Sheldon. It could be better. It could be better. And it might already be better. That's nuts. That's just nuts. Any other takeaway on defense before we get to defensive player of the game?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's get to defensive player of the game. Lead us off, Ryan.
I think it's Zach Bond. Honestly, I thought he just was absolutely out there, controlling the defense, being the man. He absolutely was there, forcing fumbles, making tackles. I mean, there wasn't anything that this guy wasn't doing out there. And again, I think, what do you have? 8 total tackles. He had the forced fumble. I just thought he had a fantastic game. One person. And we're back to caps lock.
Zach Baum was also my defensive player of the game. I'm going to just piggyback off of that.
Go ahead.
Like on offense, there's so many different routes you can go, but Bond had 12 tackles, a tackle for loss, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. His 12 tackles, that was the second highest mark for him this season. He had a run defense grade of 86.6, also the highest mark of 2024, if you believe in PFF's numbers. And just crazy impressive so far in the postseason. 26 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, a pick, 2 passes deflected. And the Eagles were running light boxes basically the majority of the game. It didn't matter. Zach Bond is just a complete beast. And Washington's running backs really did nothing in this game.
Not in the first game, the second game, or the playoff game.
Yeah, who would have thought that in the NFC Championship game, we're giving defensive player of the game to a linebacker, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go to the other linebacker. I'm going to go to Oren Burks, right? Oren Burks was much maligned after that Green Bay game, and all he's done is come back and play 2 really impressive games, including this one with a forced fumble, a sack. I think he had 8 tackles in the game, seemed to be all over the field, was in the backfield quite a few times, really played the game well. And, when you have a guy that has to step in because of an injury to such a critical player, for him to come out and play the way that he has, I want to give Oren Burks some love here today.
Oren Burks has played so well these last 2 weeks. He led the team in 7 defensive stops, Rob. 7. Yeah. And that was a major question mark for me. That's a great pick.
Marshawn, thank God I'm only on the air 1 day a week.
All right. I might have to cancel all my shows.
All right. Let's wrap up the show with our unsung hero on defense. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, it's actually Rob's player of the game. It's Oren Burks, the absolute unsung hero. This guy comes in for Nakobe Dean, who, by the way, man, that video of Sirianni FaceTiming him, just absolutely. The only reason why he wasn't there is because he literally just had surgery. So, he steps in for a guy that, again, we all know our linebacking room has not been the greatest over these many years. And we found the right combination this year with Dean and Bond. And Dean going down doesn't seem to have we haven't really skipped too much of a beat. Obviously, it's not the same, but man, Oren Burks has absolutely done his job. And yesterday, with the sack, with the fumble, again, I am very happy that our team is so deep everywhere, and is surprisingly everywhere, that somebody like an Oren Burks, who hasn't had the greatest of successes here, has stepped in and played amazing during these playoffs.
Yep. Antonio says unsung hero was Jalen Carter. All Jalen Carter did was lead the team in pressures with 8 yesterday.
And punching people in the head.
Oh my God. He almost ended that man's life.
He's a monster.
What about when he jumped off sides and poked a man in the eye?
Dude, I love him so goddamn much.
He's so insane. He's so insane. I love it.
Rob, wait. Did we get to, we need to get to Rob's unsung hero, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of named a lot, but I'm going to just say Quinyon because he shuts down Terry McLaurin again. Obviously, he gets the pick, but he has just made it so that you can only throw to one side of the field. And I know that there was some worry there late in the season. He's back, baby. I mean, he plays. You forgot he had a shoulder injury, the way he played that game, the way he was hitting guys. Well done for another youngster.
Dude,
yeah,
Marshawn, that
Jalen
was
Carter hurtling.
That might be the greatest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, Jalen Carter is just amazing. I'll go Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
Where would this pass rush be without Nolan Smith?
In the hands of
He's now got 4 sacks in the postseason. That's the most in franchise history.
What?
When you talk about guys like Reggie White and Clyde Simmons and Hugh Douglas and BG and Cox, and he's just 23 years old. He's got 34 pressures in the last 9 games. He's been a revelation, and it's really exciting to see what project what he's going to be like in 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I actually threw this question to Anthony DeBona. I'm like, what is his ceiling? Like, because he's been on such a heater that I'm trying to like temper realistic expectations.
Yeah.
But he's playing like one of the best edge rushers in football, and he's been great.
Love him.
Yep. Never seen a fat man jump like that since Barkley in the Rockets.
Oh, poor Sergio.
Taking shots at Chuck.
Shots
at Chuck.
My son says show's done. Yeah, short show tonight. Next week.
Tired.
Yeah, we're all really tired. And we all honestly just want to soak this in.
Yeah, I'm sure it was
we never ever really get to do it. I feel like this season has flown by so fast.
It has.
It's been unbelievable.
But yeah, I'm sure you guys have a nice tiring day yesterday. Is that what it was? nice long day watching the game.
I had a very nice day watching the game. Then I was verbally abused through text messaging last night and had no idea what the hell was being said to me. I wasn't sure if it was for I mean, the first text I got, I was like, he had to send this to the wrong person because I didn't understand it. And then it became a verbal attack on me. I was like, wait a minute. I said I was sorry, man. I was like, God.
Well, hey, at least you were thought of and got a text, you know.
I don't even remember sending a text. After that game ended, I made shorts and I was just putting those Tito's back pretty quickly. It was gret.
Damn, that jokes are coming out now. Damn, Marshawn, you come.
Oh my God.
Come on,
brutal.
Damn.
Oh my God.
First of all,
I thought I looked svelte in this shirt, Marshawn. Come on, damn it.
First of all, Antonio, it's 1-1. Just throwing that scoreboard out there as we lost Ryan for the night.
Yeah. Man, that's good. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough one to come back from. But
Oh my, yeah, Rob. I think we should just say goodbye to you right now.
Nope, not gonna do it. I don't allow people to throw me off like that. You know what I mean? I'm a professional. I'm a professional. I keep going. I just keep going.
Oh man!
All right, and that's
freaking
gonna wrap
brutal.
up this show. Ryan, do you have any final thoughts? Eagles
Yeah.
versus Commanders.
I'm gonna always make sure I wear baggy clothes. And
It's baggy, man. Look at all that. Look at it.
I can't ever not wear a hat also. So I have that. The one time I didn't wear a hat, I got freaking ridiculed the entire show. Where the hell's your hat? So I won't make that mistake again. But anyway, what was the question again? Oh,
Final thoughts, plugs.
final thoughts was being there once again for a championship win. Honestly, I've had one of the greatest and most fun Eagles seasons I can remember. There every single game, the memories, the great times, the beers. Yeah, it was great. We just got one more win now. We got one more win. Season ain't over.
I truly love how all about business this team is. Like there was very little celebrating, at least on my end. They were all about the team and finishing the job. What about you, Rob? Final thoughts, plugs.
Yeah, so my final thoughts are going to be actually more of the personal variety, and I had mentioned this to Dive just to make sure it was okay before we went online. You know, my best friend from high school was a big Eagles fan. He also was a huge supporter of me doing podcasts and things of that nature. And he got sick with cancer last year. And unfortunately, I was made aware this morning that last night he passed away, that finally succumbed to the cancer. 41 years old, father of 3 young children. Just one of those guys that is just as great of a human being, as great of a soul as there can be. And, you know, obviously life gets in the way. He moved away and we haven't seen each other as much over the last few years. But, you know, you talk about memories. I think about, you know, Eagles games with him and talking about the Eagles and the Sixers and the Phillies and just all the special memories. And, you know, he was as good a friend that I could have. And because he supported this, he used to call me all the time to talk about how much he loved watching me do podcasts and things of that nature. I just wanted to, you know, tell, you know, rest in peace, Joe, your family. I'm thinking of everyone, thoughts and prayers, man. And, you know, hopefully the birds get this one for you, man. And, you know, we're really going to miss you and we love you. So I'm just going to kind of close it on that note tonight.
All right, guys. One last time. Guys, thank you everyone for commenting. We'll be back next week for sure, breaking down everything between the Eagles and the Chiefs, top matchups to watch, prop bets. I'm sure we'll throw some fun games and stuff into that as well. But guys, comments were awesome as always. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. My man Rob down there at Philly_Madness. I am Dives, Mr. Crockpot. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.